Khajuraho, the temple city of India, UNESCO World Heritage Site, which testifies the temple art and architecture of Chandela dynasty from the 10th and 11th century.
Welcome back to a brand new vlog of Bonkers Note. Today we are in Madhya Pradesh and in the temple city of Khajuraho. I am Urvi with my husband Utsav. Welcome you to this episode where we explore the western group of temples of Khajuraho.
We produce some lovely contents in this channel. If you like us, please do like, share and subscribe to our channel Bonkers Note. Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section.
Almost a kilometer away from the western group of temples, there is a very significant temple in Khajuraho which we'll be visiting first. This is the Chausatti Jagani temple. There are many Chausatti Jagani temples in India, and many claims that the Parliament of India has been fashioned in one such temple. This also happens to be the oldest surviving temple in Khajuraho.
So after a quick walk, we reach the Chausatti Jogini temple. The temple is just behind me, and the main difference of this Chausatti Jogini temple from the others that are present in India is they are all in circular form, but this one is a square form.
As all Chausatti Jagani temples, this is an open air temple. The number Chausatti Hindi translates to 64 in English. There are 64 small shrines like this. Each of them should have housed an idol back in the day. We have to climb few stairs to get to the top, where there is this open temples with 64 small shrines.
We just came out of the Chausatti Jogini temple, and now we are walking towards the entrance of the western group of temples. Khajuraho got its name from khajur, or the date trees that were there in this place in those era, and it is also believed that the date trees were there at the entrance of each temple that are present here, and this is located on the banks of river Ken.
We just entered the western group of temples. It is a complex of several temples. We'll be visiting each of them one by one to look into the details of the sculptures that Khajuraho is so famous for. Entry fee for Indian nationals in this complex is 35 rupees per person, and the temple complex remains open from sunrise to sunset.
As we enter the complex, the first temple we encounter is the Lakshmi temple. It's a very small temple, but the carvings are very beautiful. Spending some time here, I realized the sculptures are very intricate. Now from here, let's move on to the Varaha temple. It was made in 1950 CE, and on top of the temple is a pyramid supported with 14 pillars, and there is an intricate lotus relief on the ceiling of this temple.
The temple houses a monolithic Varaha structure. This is an incarnation of Vishnu with carvings of gods and goddesses on all sides. There is a snake lying in between the feet of the Varaha. A sculpture of goddess Saraswati is created between its nose and mouth. This is just the second temple we have visited in this complex, and we are already fascinated by the architecture here. Lakshman Temple is a 9th century temple built in the western complex of Khajuraho, built by the king Shovarman. We can see there are reliefs of warriors going into war and celebrating life in different erotic positions, but majority of the sculptures here are depicting the day-to-day life of people at that time. It's quite different from the other temples that are present in the western complex. Built in the structure of Pancharatha, a unique school of architecture where there are 5 distinct facades on each scantrum of the temple.
This temple houses an idol of Vaikunta Vishnu, which has 3 heads and 4 limbs. The 3 heads that are there, of one is a human head, one is a Varaha, and one is a lion. As we move through the inner scantrum, we can see there are beautiful sculptures of dancers and nymphs.
Kandaria Mahadev temple means the great god of the cave. It's a temple dedicated to Lord Shiva, and it is the largest excavated Hindu temple in the western complex of Khajuraho. Constructed on a massive plinth, it's 13 feet high. You can see behind me how massive that structure is that's holding up this gigantic temple.
Now we are at Kandariya Mahadev temple, which is the biggest temple in this complex. We can see the intricate structures and sculptures on the wall of the entire temple. It just makes me wonder how skilled the artisans were in those days.
The exterior of the temple is filled with erotic sculptures. Not only the exterior, the interior of the temple is also equally beautiful, with a Shivlinga at the center.
These beautiful temples are taking me back to those days that these temples were in full intact structure and they were not destroyed. Nevertheless, I am very happy to come to Khajuraho to experience these marvels. This is the Chitragupta temple. It is an 11th century sun temple and one of the most well-maintained temple in this complex. It is very pretty and has lot of intricate structures and sculptures on the sides of the temple.
You should definitely visit the inside of the Sun Temple, and this temple is completely built out of sandstone with lot of intricate artworks. There is a sandstone statue of the sun god. There is no worship offered currently and it is an abandoned temple, but still it's very beautiful to see.
Complex is very well maintained. There are lawns all around, lots of greenery, flowers, plants. So it's very nice to walk around this entire complex.
Bring some water bottle here. There aren't any water vendor inside the complex. This is quite a huge complex. It will take you at least 2 to 3 hours to explore, so you might get thirsty. This temple is dedicated to the goddess Parvati or Durga. This is a very small temple, but it's a very beautiful one. Just opposite to the Chaturbhuj temple. Right next to it is the Vishwanath temple and the Nandi shrine. In the Nandi shrine, there is a large sandstone structure of the Nandi or the bull sitting under this gigantic sandstone roof. He is the mount of Lord Shiva. The Vishwanatha temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva and connected to the Nandi shrine.
The Vishwanath temple complex has a main shrine and 4 smaller shrines, but now sadly only 2 of them are still intact. This temple has a lot of sculptures of Sundaris, deities along with gods and goddesses. These sculptures are very interesting. If you observe minutely, you can learn a lot about the culture in those days.
If you are in winter, the climate here is going to be absolutely pleasant. You can peacefully explore all the temples that are present here. One more thing is that there is a light and sound show that happens here every day from 6:30 to 7:30 in English and from 7:30 to 8:30 in Hindi. The tickets for that show is 250 rupees per person. We will definitely go for it.
But sadly, videography is not allowed inside, so we cannot take you along. But we will definitely recommend it to you. We have heard it's very nice. Right now, standing at Pratapeshwar Temple, it was built by Pratap Singh, the Chandela dynasty, and it was built between 17th to 18th century.
By the look of it, the Pratapeshwar temple looks quite different from the other temples in this complex, and this supposedly is the last temple in this complex that we are going to visit today. On that fine note and that beautiful backdrop, we are going to end today's vlog. So do stay tuned with us as we go bonkers again with you in the next one, and please do like, share and subscribe to our channel Bonkers Note.